Thank you for staying. And of course, you know, when we talk about NSMQ, then the battle is heating up when it comes to science and math. Competing schools are arriving in Kumasi for the National Science and Math Quiz. And this year's contest, like last year's, will take place at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. We've got updates for you. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku, my colleague, is on the ground and joins us now. Emmanuel, so tell us, what exactly is the mood? What is the expectation? What is happening right now in Kumasi?
City, and I am right here in front of Brunei, here at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. The rains are not stopping us from hosting this year's edition of the National Science and Math Quiz. We understand that some schools are arriving today for the preliminary stage of the competition. So I'm here to engage with the coordinator of the National Science and Math Quiz, the program's coordinator, that is Stephen Yankee, for us to engage with him and then find out more what we should expect, what are the activities for the day, and know a lot more what should we expect in this year's competition, what is special about this year's competition. So I would call Mr. Stephen Yankee to join me, and then we begin our interactions. All right, good morning, Mr. Yankee.
Good morning, Chief.
I trust you well.
I'm doing well. I hope you are fine too.
I'm very fine. All right. So we know this year we are starting the National Science and Math Quiz, particularly here in KNUST. Help us understand what are the activities for today. We understand some schools are arriving today. Help us understand what are the schools who are arriving. How many should we expect for today?
Yes. So today is when the schools officially arrive here on campus. As you can see, we are right here at the Brunei complex. This is where we are going to be hosting all the participating schools who will be taking part in this year's competition. Today we are expecting 54 out of the 117 schools that are taking part in the prelims of this year's competition. I think as at this morning we already have about 2 schools in. Akachi Senior High Technical School is in, and then Queen of Peace Senior High School from Nadoli in the Upper West region has also arrived. We are expecting about 52 more in the course of the day. And then tomorrow we'll have another set of about 60 schools also coming in to make up the total list of schools that are competing at the preliminary stage. So once they come in today, we will start with their orientation. And every year since we introduced the interactive screens that the students use for the problem of the day, as soon as they arrive, we have a room that is set up with a number of these screens so that we can take them through how to use them effectively, because we understand that when they are training back in school, they do not use these kind of screens. So it's important that we really train them on how to use them properly. So our team is ready so that as they register, they can quickly go into that room and see how they can write easily on these interactive screens. Then beyond that, our venues for the competition are also set up. We are ready to start a contest on Monday. The Sarah Men's Auditorium is ready. We have Kuma Play Auditorium also set up. And then the Great Hall at KNUST is also ready to host the contest. You know, this year we are hosting the prelims at 3 venues. That is from Monday to Thursday. And all these venues are set up. The team from Prime Time has been working hard to ensure that everything will take place seamlessly. Now, tomorrow, Saturday, we'll also start orientation for the schools that arrived today. And then for the schools that will arrive tomorrow, that's Saturday, they will have their orientation on Sunday morning. Also on Sunday, we would have the Teachers Forum. Every year, we have a forum like that where teachers get to interact with the consultants and quiz mistresses and ask from Prime Time if they have any issues. We address them to see how we can make this whole experience much better for them. That's also happening on Sunday. And then for the first time, we have time with the NSMQ alum. This year, we have been honored to have with us the CEO of GNPC, who is himself a former contestant of the NSMQ. He's made time out of his very, very busy schedule to come and spend some time with the contestants this year, and that's going to be happening on Sunday, also in camp. So it's all part of the activities to make the experience one that these students will remember. And for us, we're excited to start the national championship.
But one will ask, why KNUST again? Last year we hosted at KNUST. But why not any other region or going back to Accra, but we are back again to K University campus?
Well, why not? Last year we all enjoyed the competition here in Kumasi. Since the National Science and Maths Quiz started in 1994, we've had a national championship being held in Accra from the very beginning. Last year was great to have been able to finally move it out of Accra to Kumasi. It had been something that we had been preparing for a number of years at prime time. We had been to KNUST at least on about 3 occasions to look at the facilities they have and how they could work with the kind of numbers we deal with and all of that, just as we were doing on Legon campus. And last year, it went very well. I think we all enjoyed the experience in Kumasi. The reception was great. The support from the old students here in Kumasi was massive. So we said, well, why not just try it again? So we're happy to be back here in Kumasi. I don't know about where we'll be next year. It's too early to tell. But trust us that we still have something exciting coming up this year.
I'm just hoping you don't go away from Kumasi. You stay in Kumasi for us once again. But we want to also find out, just before the competition started, or just some few weeks ago, we understand some 9 schools who couldn't qualify for the national competition were later on added. Help us understand why that decision.
Yes, so ordinarily we have 135 schools that take part in the national championship. Now, out of this 135, 27 of them are the seeded schools. These schools are the ones that made it to the quarterfinal stage the previous year. So we are talking about the 27 schools that made it to quarterfinals in 2021. So they gain automatic qualification. That leaves 108 schools that are coming directly from the regional qualifiers. Now, what we had been thinking about over the years was that sometimes you see schools qualifying from their regions, some as low as 10, 11, 12 points. And then you have others also failing to qualify because they lost their contest with, say, 45, 42, 43 points. And sometimes it's painful to see when these things happen. Some will say that, well, a win is a win. They were fortunate to get a contest where they could win with 13 points or 11 points to qualify. Someone too was not fortunate enough so that they met a stronger school, so that even their 43 points was not enough. So what we try to do this year is to invite some other schools that qualify with more than 40 points, and there were 9 of them. So with more than 40 points at the regional qualifiers, they lost their contest though, but because of their high scores, we gave them the opportunity to participate in the national championship. And again, this is not the very first time we are doing this. 2020, during the pandemic, we did that when we had the regional prelims. 2021, we did the same, inviting schools to come and participate based on their high scores in their regions. So we're just following the same tradition. And I think that those 9 schools are very excited for the opportunity to also come and have a taste of the national championship. Even if it was last minute, they were all excited. And the interesting thing is that all of these schools were still preparing in the hopes that they will be invited. So none of them really was caught by surprise at all. But they were very excited, and I think we are happy to see. We hope that some of these 9 schools can make a good impression. I think that would make it a nice story to tell.
Okay. Some people would argue that why would you choose the highest score and not, let's say, a school that is less endowed? They managed to garner some points, but I didn't consider that.
Well, you see, in a competition, you are talking about who is first or second or third. So, first of all, the very first stage is that if you win your contest, you qualify. That's the 108 schools. Now, if somebody didn't win, what is the basis for inviting them? The next option to consider is who lost their contest but with very high scores. Now, mind you, some of these 9 schools have scores that are higher than about half of the schools that we have already in the contest. So these are equally good schools. If they were in contests that didn't feature more stronger schools, they would have qualified also on their own merit. So I think that we thought it wise to invite these 9 to come and be part of the competition, join the 108 schools, so that in all we can have 117 schools at the preliminary stage this year. So instead of the traditional 36 contests that we used to organize at the prelim stage, we have 39 contests this time across 3 venues, 13 contests at each venue, starting from Monday all the way till Thursday.
So how many schools are we looking at for this year's competition?
So in total, we have 144 schools. So we have the 119 schools at the prelims, then we have the 27 seeded schools. So that leaves us with 144 schools.
Right. I know most of the time, every stage of the competition has a particular prize, especially with the problem of the day, you answering 5 points, getting a 5 points at the riddle. We want to understand, for the preliminary stage, is there anything like that?
Yes, for sure. All the prizes that were at stake last year are back again this year. In round 3, which is the problem of the day, we have the Prudential Life Insurance NSMQ Star. This is sponsored by Prudential Life Insurance Ghana. What they are doing is that if a school scores 10 out of 10 in the problem of the day, irrespective of the stage, from prelims to the finals, you walk away with some prize money to each of the contestants and also to their teacher. Now, when you get to round 5, which is the round of riddles, we have the GOIL Riddle Bonanza, sponsored by Ghana's #1 OMC, that is GOIL. GOIL is sponsoring this particular prize. So if a school solves 3 or all 4 riddles, they also benefit from the GOIL Riddle Bonanza. Then on every competition day, the school that emerges the highest in terms of points, the highest scorer for the day, would also win the Airtel Tigo Highest Scorer Award. So at the preliminary stage, these are the prizes that we have at stake. As we move on from prelims to 1/8 and then to quarterfinals, then we get into the Absa Bank Money Zone, where based on your score, you get some prize money attached to that. So these are the kind of prizes we are looking at just from the preliminary stage all the way to the grand finale, where we have the even bigger grand prizes that we are looking at this year.
Then I'm pretty sure if some of these schools do not even manage to go through to the competition, they are taking something home.
Yes, so that's why Professor LCF Kaufman continues to say that since these corporate sponsors came on board to support us with prizes, in the past, people would lose the contest and they would cry a lot on stage. But on a lighter note, it seems when these corporate sponsors came on board with the NSMQ Star, with the Highest Scorer Award, with the GOIL Riddle Bonanza, we don't see as much crying, because even if you cry small, you can use the prize money to wipe your tears after the contest.
Definitely. So you do want to make your school win this year's competition. At every stage, you are just hoping that they will get something to go home. Even if you don't get the bragging rights as the best science school in Ghana, at least you take home a cash prize. And then finally, we just want to find out from you, what should we expect from this year's competition? Is there anything special that we should expect?
Yes, certainly. For us at Prime Time, we are poised to deliver a very exciting competition. And we know that our fans would really love what is coming their way when we start the actual competition on Monday. Every year we set out to do even better than the previous year's edition. So if you think that the 2021 edition was exciting, please watch out for the 2022 edition. It's going to blow your mind. We are poised to deliver an excellent contest right here from Kumasi, from the 10th to the 26th of October. And I would like to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to all our sponsors who are making this possible. First of all, to the Ghana Education Service. They are our main sponsors, and without the support of the Ghana Education Service, we wouldn't be able to pull off such a big production year in, year out. I would also like to say a big thank you to GOIL, to Prudential Life Insurance Ghana, to Airtel Tigo. Dano Milk has also come through for us again this year. We have support from GNPC. Newmont Ghana is also supporting us. Then our academic sponsors, Accra College of Medicine and Academic City University College, also giving us a lot of support. And certainly we also have support from Joy News for the extensive coverage, and then also YFM. We'd like to say a big thank you to all of them, and our partner sponsor, Absa Bank, for all that they are doing to ensure that this year's program will be a successful one.
Okay. You made mention of the fact that Accra Medical School is giving out something. How many contestants are we looking at in this year's edition?
So one contestant will benefit from this scholarship. So we have one full medical school scholarship from Accra College of Medicine, and then we have another full presidential scholarship from Academic City University College going for one of the contestants. Even beyond that, GNPC is also going to be offering 5 scholarships to some promising contestants this year. through some support that we've received from GNPC. So apart from the academic scholarships from ACM and Academic City, we also have the GNPC scholarships coming up this year, and we're excited about that.
All right. So somebody would argue that why should these NSMQ contestants be moving towards medicine, reading medicine, and not engineering? Why are you not sponsoring any student to study engineering?
Well, we only have one scholarship that is from a medical institution, that is Accra College of Medicine. The scholarship from Academic City is purely on computer science or engineering related programs. And for us at Prime Time, we are not pushing contestants to all move into medicine as the only avenue out there. If you follow our mentorship sessions, we use the mentorship sessions to help these students to see that there are many other career paths out there in the field of STEM, which is not just limited to medicine. And we have done that over the last about 5 or 6 years, bringing on board seasoned personalities in the fields of science and tech, so that they know that apart from medical school, you can still have a promising, illustrious professional career that you would be excited about. And that's what we set out to do this year. The time with the NSMQ alum this Sunday, the GNPC CEO, he's not a doctor, and he's going to help these students to see the various career prospects that are out there in the fields of engineering and all of that. And for us, that's what we want to do. We don't want all our contestants to end up in medical school. We want them to venture into other fields of engineering and other areas so that we can benefit as a country.
I know you wouldn't be rooting, you are a neutral person, but which school are you rooting for to win this year's competition?
I'm rooting for the best school in this year's competition.
All right.
Yes, I'll keep that.
All right, definitely.
When the school wins, I'll tell you. The winning school is the one I'm rooting for.
All right, sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Stephen Yankee. So I was just interacting with Mr. Stephen Yankee. He is the coordinator, the programs coordinator for Primetime Limited, the organizers of the National Science and Math Quiz. So you do want to join us from Monday through to Thursday. That is when the preliminary stage of the competition. We are expecting 119 schools to compete in that particular stage of the competition, and then whoever progresses or wins that contest will be progressing onto the 1/8 stage, where we'll be meeting the 27 other seeded schools in the competition. So you do want to expect a lot more from this year's edition of the National Science and Math Quiz. But before we go, let me run you by the sponsors for this year's National Science and Math Quiz. The 2022 National Science and Math Quiz is produced by the Primetime Limited and sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with APSA Ghana. The broadcast of the National Science and Math Quiz is on Joy News, as you're watching right now, and is supported by Visual Info Sec Africa, Virtual Security Africa, Vita Milk, Cowbell, Alumni by Enterprise, Fay International Limited, Ace Medical Insurance, Azar Group, Kings Group Limited, Family Health Medical School, DBS, Corba, and Pharma Trust Limited. So this is what you should expect from this year's edition of the National Science and Math Quiz. We'll be bringing you every bit, every nitty and gritty of this particular competition. We'll be bringing you the latest updates from the competition, right from the preliminary, even when they are camping here at Brunei. So from here at Kumasi, my name is Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
We are organisms whose genetic materials have been altered. Yes, Eden?
Genetically modified organisms.
Yes. I was reading the fifth clue. 3 points. I am deflected by an inhomogeneous magnetic field which can split an unpolarized beam of me into 2 beams. I am composed of 3 spin-half fractional charge particles. In the free state, I decay with a half-life. Eden?
A neutron.
Yes. This is usually at the national level. I involve collection of information from all individuals in a population. Yes, Joel.
Population census.
You are right. Keta Senior High Technical School has 30 points. Presbyterian Boys Secondary School has 49 points. Prempeh College has 53 points. Keta Senior High Technical School, it is not easy to get into the grand finale of the National Science and Math Quiz. You've worked really hard and you've done well. You are a bronze medalist. Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, congratulations. You are a silver medalist. Well done. Prempeh College, congratulations on your win. It is my pleasure to declare you a champions. 2021 NSMQ champions.